Welcome, my friends, and thank you for joining me today. Have you ever found yourself trapped in a cycle of bad habits? Maybe scrolling on your phone for hours without even noticing the time pass? Or lying awake at night, replaying worries about work, money, or relationships? We've all been there. And when life gets hard, these habits and worries often grow even stronger, pulling us further away from the peace we so deeply long for. But here's the good news. Today, we're going to explore 6 powerful ways, drawn from timeless Buddhist teachings, that can help you break free from bad habits and overcome worry quickly. These are not abstract ideas reserved for monks in monasteries. They are simple, practical steps you can apply in your daily life, whether you're at work, with family, or sitting quietly by yourself. Imagine this. Instead of letting your phone control your attention, you learn how to gently guide your mind back to the present moment. Instead of being crushed by endless worry, you discover how to transform that energy into positive action. And instead of clinging to what you cannot control, you begin to let go, and in letting go, you breathe again. Buddhism teaches that suffering is not something we have to run away from. It's a teacher. And when we listen carefully, it can show us the root of our habits, the source of our fears, and the path toward freedom. In this video, we'll walk through 6 clear practices. Each one will not only help you release bad habits and calm your worries, but also bring you closer to inner peace, even in the middle of difficult times. So I invite you, stay with me until the end, because I'll share specific steps that you can start practicing today. These are steps that thousands of people across cultures and centuries have used to find clarity and freedom in the midst of life's storms. And remember, peace is not something far away, waiting for you someday. It's right here, inside of you, waiting to be uncovered. Let's begin this journey together. 1. Understanding the roots of bad habits. Think about the last time you caught yourself biting your nails, endlessly scrolling through social media, or worrying about something you couldn't control. These habits don't appear out of nowhere. They are the mind's automatic response to stress, boredom, or discomfort. In Buddhism, we are taught that to change any behavior, we must first see its root. Just as a doctor cannot treat an illness without understanding its cause, we cannot change our habits until we recognize what triggers them. Let me give you an image. Imagine trying to repair a car without knowing which part is broken. You would waste time, energy, and maybe even cause more damage. But once you identify the faulty part, you can fix it efficiently. Mindfulness works the same way. It shines a light into the dark room of our mind, helping us see clearly what is happening beneath the surface. Often, bad habits are simply our attempt to soothe discomfort. We scroll on our phones because we feel lonely. We eat junk food because we feel anxious. We overthink because we feel uncertain. Instead of judging ourselves harshly, mindfulness invites us to pause and gently observe. Here's a simple practice. Each day, take 2 minutes to write down one habit you want to change. Ask yourself, what was I feeling before I did this? You might discover that you always snack late at night when you're worried about work, or that you start scrolling when you're avoiding a difficult task. This awareness is not about blame, it's about clarity. And clarity is powerful, because once you see the trigger, you can choose a different response. Buddha once said, "What we repeatedly think, we become." Every habit is a pattern laid down in the mind. But patterns can be seen, understood, and reshaped. The next time you notice yourself reaching for your phone or sinking into worry, pause, take a breath, and simply name the trigger. Say to yourself, I feel anxious, or I feel bored. This small act of recognition already begins to loosen the grip of the habit. So your first step in breaking free is not to fight your habits. It is to understand them, to see the root clearly, with compassion, and then choose the path of freedom. 2. Transforming worry into strength. Worry often feels like a heavy cloud hanging over us. It drains our energy, makes us restless, and keeps us stuck in cycles of fear. But Buddhism offers a refreshing perspective. Worry is not only a burden is less than BR is greater than, it is also a form of energy. And energy can be redirected. Think about electricity. On its own, it can shock and harm. But when harnessed, it powers homes, lights cities, and fuels progress. In the same way, your worry can either paralyze you or, if guided wisely, become a force that pushes you forward. Here's the key. When worry rises, don't let it control you. Instead, pause, breathe deeply, and ask, what action can I take right now to improve this situation? Let's take a real example. Suppose you're anxious about an upcoming presentation. Normally, worry would spiral into endless what-ifs. What if I forget my lines? What if people judge me? What if I fail? But with mindfulness, you turn worry into a signal. The signal says, prepare, practice your talk, organize your slides, rehearse in front of a friend. Suddenly, that restless energy is fueling your success rather than feeding your fear. This is the Buddhist teaching of transformation. Instead of fighting against the storm, you learn to sail with the wind. You don't deny your feelings. You don't suppress them. You acknowledge them and then wisely redirect them. Science supports this too. Psychologists have found that reframing anxiety as excitement can improve performance. Your body's reaction, faster heartbeat, sweaty palms, is the same in both states. The difference lies in how your mind interprets it. So next time you feel the knot of worry in your stomach, try this simple practice. Breathe slowly for 30 seconds, then write down one small action you can take. Just one. Send an email. Make a phone call. Outline your plan. Each action is like a ray of sunlight piercing through the cloud. Buddha taught that our minds shape our world. When you see worry not as an enemy, but as energy, you begin to reclaim your power. So remember, worry doesn't have to trap you. It can move you. It can sharpen your focus, strengthen your will, and guide you toward growth. Transform your worry, and you transform your life. 3. Letting go of useless control. Have you ever caught yourself worrying about things you simply cannot change? The weather on the day of your event, what other people think about you, the economy, traffic, or the way someone else behaves. These are all things beyond your control. And yet, we spend hours, days, even years trying to control them in our minds. Buddhism teaches that clinging to what we cannot control is a root of suffering. It's like holding tightly to a rope that is burning your hands. The harder you grip, the more pain you feel. But once you release it, the pain begins to fade. Imagine this. You're standing by a river. A leaf falls onto the water. You can try to hold it still, but the current will carry it away, no matter how hard you try. That leaf is like your worries. They come, they float, and they go. The practice is not to trap them, but to let them drift downstream. Mindfulness offers us a way to practice this letting go. When a thought of worry appears, simply picture it as a leaf on the river. Observe it. Don't chase it. Don't fight it. Let it pass. This is different from suppressing your feelings. Suppression is like pushing a ball underwater. It always pops back up, often with more force. Letting go, instead, is gentle. It allows space. Here's a practical exercise. Write down one thing you are worried about right now that is outside your control. Maybe it's what my boss thinks of me, or whether people like my work. After writing it down, speak these words: I release this. I let it go. Then, redirect your attention to something you can control, like improving your skills or showing kindness to someone today. The Stoic philosophers in the West taught something very similar. Focus only on what is within your control and accept the rest with grace. Buddhism echoes this wisdom, reminding us that freedom comes not from controlling everything, but from loosening our grip. When you learn to let go, something beautiful happens. The mind becomes lighter. You stop wasting energy on the impossible, and suddenly you have more strength to focus on what truly matters. So ask yourself, what rope are you holding today that is burning your hands? And are you willing, even just a little, to let it go? Because peace begins the moment you release the need to control. 4. Replacing bad habits with positive actions. Here's a truth many people overlook. It's not enough to simply stop a bad habit. If you leave an empty space, the old habit will often creep back in, or another unhealthy one will take its place. The key is replacement, choosing a positive action that brings meaning and energy into your life. Think of it like this. If you pull weeds from a garden but never plant flowers, weeds will return. But if you plant roses, herbs, and vegetables, the garden flourishes, leaving less room for weeds to grow. Let's say your habit is scrolling on social media whenever you feel bored. Instead of just telling yourself, "Don't scroll," replace it with an activity that uplifts you. Read a few pages of an inspiring book. Step outside for a walk. Call a friend and share a kind word. Suddenly, boredom becomes a doorway to growth instead of distraction. Buddhism reminds us that conscious living means making choices aligned with our values. Every action plants a seed, and the seeds you plant today shape the harvest you reap tomorrow. If you replace harmful seeds with wholesome ones, you're already walking the path of transformation. Here's a practical method. Before you act on impulse, pause and ask yourself, which action will help me feel better in the long run? This question acts like a traffic light, guiding you toward the path that truly serves your well-being. For example, you might notice you crave soda every afternoon. Instead of reaching for sugar, replace it with herbal tea. Over time, your body and mind will thank you. Or if you usually vent your stress by arguing, replace that reaction with journaling or mindful breathing. At first, replacement may feel awkward. The old habit will pull at you. But remember, repetition creates rhythm. If you commit to a new action for even 7 days, you begin rewiring the brain. And each time you choose the healthier option, you strengthen that path. The Buddha taught that liberation comes step by step. No great change happens overnight. But with patience, consistency, and mindful replacement, you create a lifestyle that naturally supports your peace. So ask yourself right now, which one bad habit can you replace this week with something nourishing? Maybe 10 minutes of scrolling becomes 10 minutes of journaling. Maybe snacking late at night turns into sipping warm tea. Choose one. practice it daily, and watch how your life begins to shift. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about direction. Every replacement you make is a step closer to the life you truly want. 5. Mastering the mind with breath. When worry spins out of control, the mind feels like a storm, chaotic, noisy, overwhelming. But even in the strongest storm, there is always a calm center. And the fastest way to reach that center is through the breath. Buddhism teaches that the breath is more than oxygen. It is an anchor, a bridge between body and mind, a friend who never leaves your side. Whenever anxiety rises, the breath is always available to guide you back to peace. Here is a simple practice. Inhale slowly for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale gently for 8 seconds. Do this for 1 minute. It sounds simple, but the effects are profound. Your heart rate slows, your muscles soften, and your racing mind begins to quiet down. Compare this to distraction. Many people turn on the television, scroll endlessly, or grab snacks to escape their stress. But those are temporary fixes. They numb the noise for a moment, yet the storm soon returns. The breath, however, doesn't just distract you. It transforms you. It restores balance from within. Think of the breath as a pause button. When life feels overwhelming, pressing pause gives you space to reset. In that space, you can choose wisely instead of reacting impulsively. Modern science agrees. Studies show that mindful breathing lowers cortisol, reduces anxiety, and even improves focus and memory. What ancient Buddhists practiced thousands of years ago, modern researchers now confirm. Here's a daily challenge. Set a reminder on your phone 3 times a day. Each time, pause for 1 minute and practice mindful breathing. At morning, midday, and evening. Write down how you feel afterward. Over a week, you'll notice the difference: more calm, more clarity, more control of your mind. The Buddha once said, "To breathe in and be aware that you are alive is already a miracle." With every mindful breath, you are touching that miracle. So the next time anxiety strikes, don't drown in the storm. Return to your breath. Trust its rhythm and let it carry you back to peace. 6. Cultivating peace through gratitude. In difficult times, it's easy to focus only on what's wrong. The bills piling up, the uncertainty of the future, the mistakes of the past. But Buddhism teaches that gratitude has the power to shift our entire perspective. Gratitude doesn't erase challenges. It transforms how we meet them. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. The room may still be the same, but suddenly you see beauty, possibilities, and hope that were hidden before. Think of a time when someone offered you kindness, a smile from a stranger, a meal prepared with love, a supportive word from a friend. In that moment, even if life was heavy, didn't your heart feel lighter? Gratitude reconnects us to what is good, even in hardship. Here's a simple daily practice. Each night, write down 3 things you are grateful for. They don't have to be big. Maybe it's a warm cup of coffee in the morning, the sound of birds outside your window, or the laughter of a loved one. Over time, you train your mind to notice the blessings instead of just the burdens. Mindfulness deepens this practice. It's not about forcing fake positivity or pretending life is perfect. It's about pausing long enough to truly appreciate what is already here. Gratitude becomes like a lens, sharpening your vision to see beauty in small moments. Science supports this too. Research shows that people who keep gratitude journals experience less stress, sleep better, and feel more connected to others. Gratitude literally rewires the brain for happiness. The Buddha taught that joy is not found in getting what we want, but in appreciating what we already have. Gratitude is the soil where peace grows. So when you feel the urge to return to a bad habit, or when worry begins to tighten its grip, pause and ask, what can I be grateful for in this moment? The answer might be simple: your breath, your body, the chance to try again. Gratitude doesn't deny pain. It balances it. It reminds you that, alongside the storm, there is still sunlight. So tonight, before you sleep, take out a notebook and write 3 blessings from your day. And whenever life feels overwhelming, read those blessings again. Let them guide you back to calm. Because peace is not built on what we lack, but on gratitude for what we already hold. So today, we've walked together through 6 powerful practices inspired by Buddhist wisdom. We began by understanding the roots of our bad habits. Then we learned how to transform worry into strength. We discovered the freedom of letting go of useless control. We explored how to replace harmful patterns with positive actions. We practiced mastering the mind through mindful breathing. And finally, we opened our hearts with gratitude, the soil in which peace grows. These are not just theories. They are tools. Simple steps you can take today to calm your mind, break free from destructive cycles, and return to a place of balance. Remember, transformation doesn't happen in one giant leap. It begins with small, steady steps. 2 minutes of reflection. 1 mindful breath. 3 notes of gratitude. These small actions ripple outward, creating waves of change in your life. The Buddha taught that peace is not something far away, waiting in the future. It is here, in this very breath, in this very step, in this very moment. So I invite you, choose one practice from today and begin right now. Maybe it's mindful breathing. Maybe it's journaling gratitude. Maybe it's replacing one habit with something nourishing. Whatever you choose, take that first step toward freedom. If this video has been meaningful to you, please like it, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more teachings like this. And I'd love to hear from you. Comment below which of the 6 practices you will try first. Until next time, may you walk gently, live mindfully, and rest deeply in peace.